Hello, my name is Jaydeep Sai. I am from CSC first year, and my topic is Introduction to Library Functions in Python Programming. The top 10 Python libraries are TensorFlow, Scikit-learn, NumPy, Keras, PyTorch, LightGBM, ELI5, SciPy, Theano, Pandas. Python is one of the most popular and widely used programming languages and has replaced many programming languages in the industry. There are a lot of reasons why Python is popular among developers, and one of them is that has amazingly large collection of libraries that users can work with. The simplicity of Python has attracted many developers to create new libraries for machine learning. Because of huge collection of libraries, Python is becoming hugely popular among machine learning experts. So the Python is one of the most popular and widely used Python programming languages. And it replaced many other programming languages such as C++, Java, C, etc. There is a lot of reasons why Python is becoming popular among the developers, and one of them is that it has amazingly large collection of libraries that users can work with. So Python contains many large collections of the libraries. The simplicity of the Python has attracted many developers to create new libraries for machine learning. So the Python is very simple. So due to the simplicity of the Python, many developers are attracted towards it, and the developers have made created many new libraries for the machine learning. Because of the huge collection of the libraries, Python is becoming hugely popular among machine learning experts. So due to the huge collection of the libraries, the Python is becoming the very popular in the between the machine learning experts. Here are the very few important reasons as to why Python is popular. So these are the important reasons for the popularity of the Python. Python has a huge collection of the libraries. Python is a beginner's level programming language because of its simplicity and easiness for developing and maintaining Python wants their developers to be more productive. Portability is another reason for huge popularity of the Python programming language. Python's programming syntax is simple to learn and is of high level when we compare to other programming languages such as C, Java, and C++. Hence, only a few lines of code makes new applications. So the important reasons for Python to become the popular is it contains the huge collection of the libraries. So the Python contains the huge collection of the libraries, and the Python is a beginner's level programming language. So for the beginners to learn the coding and programming language, the Python is the best choice for its simplicity and easiness. So the Python is very simple and easy to learn. It is the choice for the beginners to learn the programming language. For developing to deploying and maintaining Python wants their developers to be more productive. So the Python is also a more productive language for the developers. The portability is another reason for the huge popularity of the Python. So the Python is not only productive, it is also portable language. So the Python is portable language, which makes it huge popular among the other programming languages. The syntax in the Python is very simple when compared to the other programming languages such as C, Java, and C++. And it is also a high-level programming language, and it is very easy and simple to learn. So hence, only a few lines of code makes new applications. So when compared to the other programming languages, we use Python, and it is very simple to learn. And by the coding few lines, and the new application will be created by using the Python programming. The first library is TensorFlow. TensorFlow. What is TensorFlow? If you are currently working on the machine learning projects in Python, then you may have heard about this popular open source library known as TensorFlow. This library was developed by Google in collaboration with Brain Team. TensorFlow is a part of almost even every Google application for machine learning. TensorFlow works like a computational library for writing new algorithms that involve a large number of tensor operations. Since neural network can be easily expressed as computational graph, they can be implemented using TensorFlow as a series of operations on tensor. Plus, tensor are n-dimensional matrices which represents your data. So the library is TensorFlow. If we are working in machine learning projects in Python, then we will be hear about the popular library is TensorFlow. The library was developed by the Google and by the partnership and collaboration by the Brain Team. So the Google company has made the partnership with the Brain Team to make this TensorFlow library in the Python. TensorFlow is a part of almost every Google application for machine learning. So for the every application of the machine learning of the Google, the TensorFlow plays the major important role. TensorFlow works like a computational library for writing new algorithms that involve a large number of TensorFlow operations. So the TensorFlow works like a computational library. So it works as a dimensional matrix library for new algorithms that involve a large number of tensor operations. Since neural networks can be easily expressed as computational graph, they can be implemented using TensorFlow as a series of operations on tensor. Plus, tensor are n-dimensional matrices which represents your data. So tensor is a n-dimensional matrices which represents the data. Features of TensorFlow. It is a responsive construct. With TensorFlow, we can easily visualize each and every part of the graph, which is not an option while using NumPy or Scikit. Flexible. So it is a feature of the TensorFlow. One is responsive construct and another is flexible. One of the very important TensorFlow feature is that it is flexible in its operability, meaning it has modularity and the part of it which you want to make standalone, it offers you that option. Easily trainable. It is easily trainable on CPU as well as GPU for distributed computing. Parallel neural network training. TensorFlow offers pipelining in the sense that you can train multiple neural networks and multiple GPUs, which makes the model very efficient on large-scale systems. So the features of TensorFlow are responsive construct, flexible, easily trainable, parallax neural network training. Responsive construct. With TensorFlow, we can easily visualize each and every part of the graph. So by the using of the TensorFlow, we can visualize each and every part of the graph, which cannot be seen in the other libraries such as NumPy or Scikit. It is most flexible. It is very important. TensorFlow is that it is flexible in its operability, meaning it has modularity and the parts of which you want to make standalone. It offers you that option. Next, it features a large community. Needless to say, it has been developed by Google. There already is a large team of software engineers who work on stability improvements continuously. Open source. The best thing about this machine learning library is that it is open source. So anyone can use it as long as they have internet connectivity. So the futures of TensorFlow is large community. So it is developed by the Google. There are already large number of teams of software engineers who work on the stability improvements continuously. So the many of the software engineers are working on this TensorFlow to make the improvements and to make it stable continuously. It is also a open source. It is available in the internet, and the best thing about this machine learning library is that it is only open source, so anyone can use it. So because of it is a open source, anyone can use it by accessing through internet connectivity. Scikit-learn. Next, Python programming library is scikit-learn. What is scikit-learn? It is a Python library is associated with NumPy and SciPy. So it is a Python library which is associated with NumPy and SciPy. It is considered as one of the best libraries for working with complex data. So the SciPy-learn is a library which is used for working with the complex data and much large amount of the data. There is a lot of chance being made in this library. One modification is the cross-validation feature, providing the ability to use more than one metric. Lots of training methods like logistic regression and nearest neighbors have received some little improvements. So it is about the scikit. There are a lot of changes being made in this library. So many changes are being made in this library. One modification is the cross-validation feature. So it has the feature of the cross-validation, providing the ability to use more than one metric. Lots of training methods like logistic regression and nearest neighbors have received some little improvements. So it has received some little improvements also. Features of scikit-learn. Cross-validation. There are various methods to check the accuracy of supervised models on unseen data. Unsupervised learning algorithms. Again, there is a large spread of algorithms in the offering, starting from clustering, factor analysis, principal component analysis to supervised neural network, extraction, useful for extracting features from images and text. Example, bag of words. So these are the features of the scikit-learn. One is cross-validation, unsupervised learning algorithm, feature extraction. Cross-validation. There are various methods of check the accuracy and supervised models of unseen data. So to check the accuracy and supervised model of the unseen data, we use this scikit-learn library, the Python. Feature extraction, useful for extracting features from images and text. For the extracting the features from the image and text, we are using this library function, that is scikit-learn. Example, bag of words. Where are we using scikit-learn? It contains a numerous number of algorithms for implementing standard machine learning and data mining tasks like reducing dimensionality, classification, regression, clustering, and model selection. So in these regions, we are using the scikit-learn. It contains a numerous number of algorithms for implementing standard machine learning. So the scikit-learn uses the number of algorithms for many number of algorithms, and it contains the algorithms for implementing standard machine learning and data mining tasks like reducing dimensionality. So it is used for the reducing the dimensionality, classification, regression, clustering, and model selection. The next library function is NumPy. What is NumPy? NumPy is considered as one of the most popular machine learning library in Python. So the NumPy is a library which is considered to the most popular machine learning library in the Python. TensorFlow and other libraries uses NumPy internally for operating multiple operations on Tensor. Array interface is the best and the most important feature of the NumPy. So NumPy is the most popular machine learning library in Python. Before we seen about the TensorFlow, it uses it helps in the accessing the machine learning. So NumPy is also very important popular machine learning library in the Python. So the TensorFlow uses the NumPy internally for performing multiple operations. Array interface is the best and the most important feature of the NumPy. So the most and best important feature of the NumPy is array interface. Feature of NumPy, it is interactive. NumPy is a very interactive and easy to use. Mathematics makes complex mathematical implementations very simple. Intuitive makes coding real easy and grasping the concept is easy. Lot of interaction, widely used, hence a lot of open source contribution. So these are the features of the NumPy. It is a very interactive. So NumPy is a very interactive and easy to use. The NumPy is very easy to use, and for the mathematical complex implementation, the NumPy makes the mathematical complex implementations very simple. It is very interactive. It makes the coding real and easy, and grasping the concept is very easy. By using the live NumPy, we can make the coding very easy and real, and grasping the concept is will become very easy. It makes the lot of interaction widely used, hence it lot of open source contribution. So the NumPy library is very widely used libraries in the Python programming. Uses of NumPy. This interface can be utilized for expressing images, sound waves, and other binary raw systems as an array of real numbers in dimensions. For implementing this library for machine learning, have knowledge of NumPy is very important for full stack developers. So this interface can be utilized for expressing images. So the NumPy is very useful for expressing images, sound waves, and other binary raw systems as an array of real numbers in n dimensions. So expressing the images, sound waves, and other binary raw streams as array of the real numbers in n dimensions. For implementing this library for machine learning, have knowledge of NumPy is very important for full stack developers. For the full stack developers, the knowledge about the NumPy in the implementation of the machine learning is very important. So it is the uses of NumPy. Next library is Keras. So Keras is also a library function library in the Python. What is Keras? Keras is considered as one of the coolest machine learning libraries in Python. It provides an easier mechanism to express neural networks. Keras also provides some of the best utilities for compiling models, processing dataset, visualization of graphs, and much more. In the backend, Keras uses either Thanos or TensorFlow internally. Some of the most neural network like CNTK can also be used. Keras is comparatively slow when we compare it with other machine learning libraries because it creates a computational graph by using backend infrastructure and then make use of it to perform operations. All the models in Keras are portable. So it is about the Keras, which is a library in the Python. It is considered to be the most coolest machine learning libraries in Python. So it is very popular machine learning library in the Python. It provides the easier mechanism to express neural networks. So the Keras provides the easier mechanism and the simple mechanism to express the neural networks. Keras also provides some of the best utilities for the compiling models. So the Keras provide the best utilities and the perfect utilities for the compiling models and also for the processing data sets and the visualization of the graphs. For the visualizing the graphs, Keras library is the plays the main role, and it is also used for much more operations. In the backend, Keras use either Thanos or TensorFlow internally. Some of the most neural network like CNTK can also be used. Keras is comparatively slow when we compare it with other machine learning libraries. So Keras, when compared to the other machine learning libraries, it is slow when compared to them because it creates a computational graph. So the Keras will create the computational graph by using backend infrastructure and then make it to perform operations. All the models is Keras are portable. So all the models in the Keras are portable. Features of Keras. It runs smoothly on both CPU and GPU. So the future of the Keras is it can be run smoothly in the CPU and also in GPU. Keras supports almost all the models of the neural network, fully connected, convolutional, pooling, recurrent, embedding, etc. Furthermore, this model can be combined to build more complex models. Keras being modular in nature, it incredibly expressive, flexible, and apart for innovative research. Keras is completely Python-based framework, which makes it easy to debug and explore. So these are the features of the Keras. It can be run smoothly on the both CPU and the GPU. Keras also support all the models of the neural networks that are full connected, convolutional, pooling, recurrent, embedding, etc. Furthermore, this model can be combined to build more complex models. So by the using of these models, we can build more complex models by using the Keras library. Keras being modular in nature. So the Keras library is a modular in nature, is incredibly expressive, flexible, and apart for innovative research. Keras is completely Python-based framework, which makes it easy to debug and explore. So Keras is completely Python-based framework, which makes it easy and explore. Where are we using Keras? You are we are already constantly interacting with features built with Keras. It is it is in use at Netflix, Uber, Yelp, Instacart, Zogdoc, Square, and many other. It is especially popular among startups that place deep learning at the core of their product. So we are using the Keras. We also know about Netflix, Uber, Square, Zodiac, Zogdoc. Here we are using the Keras library of the Python for the interacting with the futures built with Keras. Keras contains numerous implementations of commonly used neural networks building blocks such as layers, objective activation, function optimizers, and a host of tools to make working with image and text data easier. So the Keras contain the numerous implementation of the commonly used neural network building blocks, such as layers, objective, activation function, optimizers, and host of the tool, making the work with image and text data easier. So by the using Keras, we can work with the image and text data easily and simply. Plus, it provides many pre-procured pre-processed data sets and retained models like MNIST, BGG, Inception, SqueezeNet, ResNet, etc. Next Python library is PyTorch. What is PyTorch? PyTorch is the largest machine learning library that allows developers to perform tensor computations when it acceleration of GPU creates dynamic computational graph and calculate gradients automatically. Other than this, PyTorch offers a rich API for solving application issues related to neural networks. This machine learning library is based on Torch, which is an open source machine learning implemented in C with wrapped in Lua. So it is about the PyTorch. PyTorch is the largest machine learning library that allows the developers to perform tensor computations PyTorch offers rich API for solving application issues such as neural networks. So PyTorch offers the rich API for solving application issues related to neural networks. This machine learning library is based on Torch. So the PyTorch library is a machine learning library which is based on the Torch, which is an open source machine learning library implemented in C. So the Torch is the machine learning library implemented in C with a wrapper in loop. Features of PyTorch. Hybrid front end. A new hybrid front end provides ease of use and flexibility in eager mode, while seamlessly transition of graph mode for speed optimization and functionality in C++ runtime environments. Disturbed training. Optimize performance in both research and production by taking advantage of native support for asynchronous execution of collective operations and peer-to-peer communication that is accessible through Python and C++. Python first. PyTorch is not a Python binding into a monolithic C++ framework. It's built to be deeply integrated into Python, so it can be used with Python libraries and packages such as Python and Numba. So these are the features of PyTorch. They are hybrid front-end, distributed training, Python first. Applications of the PyTorch. PyTorch is primarily used for the applications such as natural language processing. It is primarily developed by Facebook's Artificial Intelligence Research Group and Uber's Pyro software for probabilistic programming inbuilt on it. PyTorch is outperforming TensorFlow in multiple ways and it is gaining a lot of attention in the recent days. So these are the applications of the PyTorch. PyTorch is primarily used for the applications such as natural language processing. It is primarily developed by the Facebook's Artificial Intelligence. So the PyTorch is developed by the Facebook's Artificial Intelligence Research Group and Uber's Pyro software for probabilistic programming is built on it. PyTorch is outperforming TensorFlow in multiple ways. So PyTorch is outperforming TensorFlow in multiple ways, and it is gaining a lot of attention in the recent days. So in the recent days, the PyTorch library in the Python is getting the more and more attention. The next library in the Python is LightGBM. What is LightGBM? Gradient boosting is one of the best and most popular machine learning library, which helps developer in building new algorithms by using redefined elementary models and namely decision trees. Therefore, there are special libraries which are available for fast and efficient implementation of this method. What are the applications of LightGBM? This library provides highly scalable, optimized, and fast implementations of the gradient boosting, which makes it popular among the machine learning developers. Because most of the machine learning full stack developers want machine learning competitions by using these algorithms. So by using the library that is LightGBM, the many machine learning experts have won the competitions by creating the algorithms by using this LightGBM. This library provides the highly scalable, optimized and fast implementations of the gradient boosting, which makes it popular among the machine learning developers. The next library in the Python is LI5. What is LI5? Most often, the results of machine learning model prediction are not accurate, and LI5 machine learning library built in Python helps in overcoming these challenges. It is a combination of visualization and debug all the machine learning models and track all the working steps of an algorithm. So the most often the results of machine learning model are predictions and not accurate. So the models of the machine learning are mostly predictions but not accurate. And the LI5 machine learning library built in Python helps in overcoming these challenges. So these predictions can be overcome by the library that is LI5. It is a combination of the visualization and debug. So the LI5 is the combination of the visualization and debug all the machine learning models and the track all the working steps of an algorithm. Next library is SciPy in the Python. What is SciPy? SciPy is a machine learning library for application developers and engineers. However, you still need to know the difference between SciPy library and SciPy stack. SciPy library contains modules for optimization, linear algebra, and integration and statistics. So this is about the SciPy. SciPy is the machine learning library for application developers and engineers. So it is applicable. It is applied by the developers and engineers. The SciPy library is applied by the developers and engineers in the machine learning. However, you still need to know the difference between SciPy library and SciPy stack. SciPy library consists of modules for optimization. So the SciPy library contains the modules of optimization, linear algebra, integration, and statistics. Features of SciPy. The main feature of SciPy library is that it is developed using NumPy, and its array makes the most use of the NumPy. So the SciPy library is developed using NumPy. So NumPy, we also met with NumPy. NumPy is also a library in the Python. So the SciPy is made by the developing the NumPy, and its arrays make the most use of the NumPy. So the arrays in the SciPy are mostly used in the NumPy. In addition, SciPy provides all the efficient numerical routine like optimization. So the SciPy provides the numerical routines such as optimization, numerical integration, and many other using its specific submodules. All the functions in all submodules of SciPy are well documented. So the submodules in the SciPy are documented properly. So they are well documented. The next library in the Python is Theano. What is Theano? Theano is a computational framework machine learning library in the Python for computing multidimensional arrays. Theano works similar to TensorFlow, but it not as efficient as TensorFlow because of its inability to fit into the production environment. So it is about the Theano. Theano is the library in the Python. It is similar to the TensorFlow, but it is not efficient as TensorFlow. So the Theano is similar to the TensorFlow, but it is not efficient as the TensorFlow because its inability to fit into the production environment. Next library is Panda. Panda is the library in the Python. What is Panda? Panda is a machine learning library in Python that provides data structure of high level and a wide variety of the tools for analysis. On the great feature of this library is the ability to translate complex operation with data using one or two commands. Panda have so much inbuilt methods for grouping, combining data, and filtering, as well as time series functionality. So it is about the Panda. Panda is the machine learning library in the Python that provides the data structure of high level and wide variety of tools for analysis. One of the greatest features of this library is ability to translate complex operations. So the Panda library is used for the translate the complex operations, which makes the greatest feature of this library with data using one or two commands. Panda have so many inbuilt methods for grouping. So the Panda has many inbuilt methods for grouping, combining data and filtering, as well as time series functionality. I thank the faculty and the college for giving me the opportunity to speak about the given topic. Thank you.